Thank you, Jay. So today we'll be covering Bon Appetit. There's a challenge in the Aka rank, and we'll read through, understand it, reason together, and then we can solve it.
Okay.
So two friends, Anna and Brian, are deciding how to split the bill at a dinner. Each will only pay for the items they consume. Brian gets the check and calculates Anna's portion. You must determine if his calculation is correct. For example, assume the bill has the following prices. So you have the 2, 4, and 6. Anna declares to each item K, bill index 2.
Okay.
So which costs 6 bob. If Brian calculates the bill correctly, Anna will pay 2 plus 4 divided by 2 equals to 3. If includes the cost of bill, which is index 2, you calculate 2 plus 4 plus 6 divided by 2 equals to 6. In the second case, you should refund to Anna.
Okay.
So I can briefly break down what's here. So simply you have this array, and the way we index array is from 0. So you have the 0, which represent 2, 1 representing 4, and 6 representing 2.
Okay.
So Anna declines to pay item index 2. It means he declines to pay the item in the bill with 6 bob, which of course has the highest price.
Mm-hmm.
So and they're supposed to split it equally. So by normal circumstances, in a normal instance, that is 2 plus 4, which is 10. 2 plus 4, which is 6 plus 6, 12, divided by 2, which is 6.
Yeah.
In normal instance, they're supposed to split 6 bob, 6 bob. But since Anna declines to pay the 6 bob, it means they have to split the first 2 items, but Brian will pay the total item of the third one. So which is 2 plus 4 divided by 2. So they split 3 bob and 3 bob, but Brian pays the 6 bob. So by you, Brian will pay 9 bob and Anna will pay 3 bob. So you're supposed to output. So the functional description is complete. The Bon Appetit function in the data below should print Bon Appetit if the bill is fairly split. Otherwise, they should print the integer amount of money that Brian owes Anna. So Bon Appetit has the following parameters: bill, an array of integers representing the cost of each item ordered; K, an integer representing the zero-based index of the item Anna doesn't eat; and B, the amount of money that Anna contributed to the bill.
Okay.
So example, if you are given, for example, this part here, so you have for 1. So you have the first one, the second one, and the third one. These are described right here. So the first parameter is the bill. And then we have an integer representing the cost of each item ordered.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the B, the amount of money that Anna contributed to the bill. So in this instance here, the array of the prices, which is now the bill, will be 3, 10, 2, and 9. Mm-hmm. What Anna refuses to pay, which will be index 1, which if we take this array, we assign it to an index, this will be 0, this will be 1. Sorry for that. So 3 plus 2, which is 5, plus 9, which is 14, divide by 2,
mm-hmm.
which is 7, right? And what Anna paid was 12 bob. So if we minus 12 minus 7, we get 5. So that is what we expected. But if Anna had paid 7 bob, then we would print Bon Appetit because this is what we expect.
Yeah.
Same instance here, again given this array 3, 10, 2, 9. Array to ignore is 1, which is 10. Again, the same calculations. We get 7, which is correct, and hence we print Bon Appetit.
Okay.
So let's get down to the challenge. And this instance is good to have a quick view of what you're given. So you have the bill, we expect, of course, to be an array. We have the K and the B. So the K, I believe, is the index, and then the B is what Anna paid. So B is the amount of money Anna paid, and K is the index that represents what Anna didn't pay. So having that in mind, then the first thing, of course, before you solve any algorithm, is first you must visualize, you must have the backend picture.
Yeah.
So, of course, we have a function here, right? And we are expecting an array which is in bill, and of course, we're expecting a K, which is the index. So, in that instance, this gives us something, and this something is that in our mind we know there's somewhere we have to filter, right?
Yeah.
Because we have to remove the item K, and then the B means we have to do some addition or subtraction somewhere. So you have logical calculation. So you have to subtract what you expect and what is expected. And then we get, of course, to print either Bon Appetit or the balance.
Okay.
And then, so with that in mind, you are aware that you must filter somewhere, and you must do some subtraction and addition. And another thing, this is an array, so you expect to loop somewhere. So with that, that's logic. So you expect a loop, you expect a filter, and you expect some subtractions as such. So let's get down to know the calculation. So we have the bill, K, and B. So the first thing we should do is, of course, is through iteration. We should iterate through the array to get the K so that you can remove the index. The other way is to filter it using the bill.filter. So let's use the looping. So again, we have to have the picture. So let's have something like result. This is what we expect, and I will initialize it to 0.
Okay.
This is where we expect to store, of course, because we will be also doing calculation on adding on every bill, which is not the index one. So with that in our mind, then we can do now the for loop. We can say for loop. Let's say A equals to 0. Okay, so A less than bill. So you have to get the length.
Okay.
The length. And then we have to have it counter. So it's a loop. So you have it to have, when it finishes with the first one, moves to the next one till the end.
Yeah.
And so that's why the A++ does. So we have got that. So we are looping through our array. And the other thing is that, of course, we want to sum everything that is not in the index of K. So we are saying if, of course, our A is not equals to K. So by that is like filtering. So this we are meaning that have the index which is not equals to K. So any other index that is not the K.
Yeah.
That's what we have. And by that, we just use the results, and then we use the addition operator, press equal moment. We want to access the value and no longer the index. So by that, we access the value using that. So this is an array format of accessing the value. So the bill is the array, and then into brackets, whatever the index is.
Okay.
So at this moment, we have the result population. So of course, we have the sum. But remember, there's Brian and Anna, and we have to divide this by 2.
Okay.
And so that will be our next thing. So we just, again, describe a temporary place. So the first one I use let because it will be changed. Now I can
Okay.
use, like, for example, const because we are just storing a constant value. So we are saying just the result. We divide it by 2. And then again, here we have to have like a reasoning of asking ourselves if the bill is equals to what we are given. Oh, sorry, I can't use B.
Yeah. I was gonna
Let me
say
use.
that. Yes. Maybe use another thing.
Yeah, so if B, yeah, sure. Then, so if B and our result C is not, they match, we return Bon Appetit.
Bon
But
Appetit.
if they don't match, of course, we return the value, which is the subtraction.
Yeah.
So in this point, you're saying like if so if C equals to B, then we just console.log Bon Appetit. I'll just copy that.
I think.
Yeah. So if they match, and then else. At this point, you can either use math.absolute or math.flow. The reason being that at some point, because we're dividing by 2, there will be a number with decimal points, right? So we want raise decimal points to be like an absolute value.
Yeah.
So it doesn't conflict with the B. So at this point, yeah. So at this point, you say math. You can either use absolute or flow. That's up to you.
Okay.
Then it B minus C. So let's run. Hopefully our code runs. Okay, so yeah, our code is running. You can use flow either way. Doesn't matter, both they eliminate the decimals.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it doesn't matter, but let's just use absolute.
Yeah.
As my preference. So then you can submit and see.
And see whether all the test cases pass.